In this video, we will learn how to use the new texture mask paint node to paint a mask to control where hair is generated on a mesh. Prior to Houdini 20, it was only possible to create a hair mask by painting a density attribute on the geometry or by loading a texture painted in another software. The downside to painting an attribute is that the mask resolution is tied to the resolution of the topology of the model. On a project I previously worked on, the groom artist had to subdivide the head in order to paint a high enough resolution mask. The benefit to using the new texture mask paint node is you can now paint a mask whose resolution is independent of the model's topology. We will look at two different methods of using this node. The first method is the scatter method, and the second method will be the texture method. If you want to use the same character that I'm using, you can download it for free from mixamo.com. You just have to have an account with Adobe, otherwise it's free. And if you want the exact character that I use, you can just go over here to where it says characters and search for Adam. The first method that we're going to look at is the scatter method. This method is great for scattering guides. So let's begin by creating a geometry object. Once we're done, we can dive inside and we can import our geometry by using an FBX character import. And I'm going to select that geometry that we downloaded from Mixamo. And I want to just work on the head by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit S with our mouse in the viewport to switch to selection tool. And I'm going to double click on one of the faces to select all of the head. And then I can hit Control I and that will invert the selection. And then I can hit the delete key. Once we're done with that, we can go back out to object level. And we need to start working on our guides now. And so if we go up to the shelves, we have our hair utilities right here. And I'm going to click on the create empty guide groom. And it's asking us to select the skin geometry that we want to add guides to. So you can select the geometry and then hit enter. And the reason, and you'll notice that right here, this create guides is turned off. And that's because we want to create our own guides and not use the guide creation that this node automatically has. So let's go inside this object. And since we didn't create any guides, we don't need this connection right here. So if we hit Y, it'll turn into scissors and we can cut this connection. The node that we need is the texture, texture mask paint node. So we're going to drop that down and I'm going to connect this up and it's giving me an error. I am not sure why it does this. For some reason, it just seems to be very buggy. So let me try dropping it down again. And it's still doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm having so many issues with this. I'm just going to go up to here and hit reset viewport. And then I'm going to type in the node again. And now it's working. I have no idea why that fixed it. But it's probably a good idea to have labs installed so that you can get this reset viewport button because I have to use it all the time, especially when using the texture mask paint node. But now that that's working, we can switch to our handles tool so we can start painting. And I actually want to see that object. I still want to see the texture that we have. And so I'm going to hit escape to exit out of the tool. And once again, looks like our viewport is bugged. So I'm going to hit reset viewport. And I'm going to switch this from hide other objects to ghost. And what that's going to allow us to do is when we switch to paint is we'll still see the texture because our object out here is still turned on. So before I do that, let me hit D and I'm going to go to lights and I'm going to make sure specular is turned off. And so now when I enter the paint mode, we can still see our texture. And if I start painting, we can see that it's going, that it's painting properly and we can still see our object with the texture on it. And I'm going to change our resolution to 2K and it looks like it's bugged again. So once again, we can reset viewport and I'm going to hit ghost other objects. This is annoying. And so I'm just going to hit clear so I can start painting again. And so for this part, all you have to do is paint where you want your hair to go. Once you've painted the area where you want your hair, all you have to do is hit escape and that will exit the painting mode. And so now what we need to do is we need to scatter a whole bunch of points within that mask. So if we type in, let's see, the node that we want is the scatter texture mask node. And we're going to plug both of these wires or both of these connections in. and it's giving us an error, but that's simply because we need to switch from texture to texture primitive. And by default, it has the right name. So this is perfect. So I'm going to turn up the density scale so that we're scattering a lot more points. And I think we can go a little bit higher. All right. And so if we go back here and enter our paint state, we can see that it is scattering these points exactly where we painted. And so the next thing that we need to do is actually get our guides going. And so we're going to use the hair generate node. And just to clarify, there's actually no difference between the guides and the hair, because the guides and the hair curves, because it's all just geometry in the end. And in fact, if you were to dive inside here, well, actually, let me unlock it first. If you hit allow editing of contents and you go inside, you can see that the guides are created the exact same way just by using a hair generate node. And also let's make note of this node, because we're going to also create that. So let me go back out, and I'm just going to hit match current definition. And let's go back inside. And so now it's actually time to create our guide. So I'm going to, it's this first input, it's looking for skin. So we can plug that in there. And then I think that'll actually be enough for what we need right now. And so the default mode is scatter on surface. And I'm going to switch this over to per point. And so now we can see that each of those points that we scattered has now become a hair. And so if you want to change the density, you just need to come back to the scatter and texture mask node, and you can play with the density right there. There's just one more thing I wanted to cover. If you're creating your guides in this method, there's some attributes that you need. And if you remember a second ago when we dove inside, we saw that other node. So let's go ahead and create that. And that node, I don't know why I typed in skin. Oh, it's called guide skin attribute lookup. And so this is going to create attributes that you may need later on. And so I'm just showing you to do this as a foolproof method in case you run into issues later on. And so it's just looking for the guides and then the skin. And then you can plug that into your guides. And then if you go back out here to object level, that you can see that your guides have been created where you painted your mask. Later on, I realized that there's actually one more thing I wanted to add. You can actually do this process in real time. So if you put your display flag on the hair gen, but then you select the texture mask paint, and then you click on the handles tool, this will allow you to paint. And if you start painting, it'll actually update in real time. So it does work in real time, but it is just a bit slow, a little bit laggy. But it's still nice to be able to go and do this in real time. But then the other thing too is that if you're just painting guides, you probably wouldn't want it as dense as what I'm doing here. The next method that we're going to look at is the texture method. And this method is best used for when it actually comes time to scatter your hair. And the reason why is because in the hair generate object, we have to use the scatter on surface mode. It doesn't have the option to use the scatter on points. And if you want to look inside, if we go to the actual hair gen, we can see that the mode is stuck on scatter on surface. Here is my other scene that I've been working on, and I've hand placed some guides for the eyebrows, and we're going to be looking at how to create a mask for the actual hair generation. So the last example, we were looking at how to do the guides, and this is going to be for the hair generation. So I'm going to dive into the guide groom where my guides are created. And you can see that I just used a guide groom in order to place those guides. And let me show all objects. And so the next thing that you want to do is use the texture mask paint node like we did last time. And I've already painted it here, so you don't have to watch me do it again, but I will enter that state just so you can see what I painted. So you can see all I did was come and paint where I wanted the hair to grow on the eyebrows, and that's perfect. And so if we go back out, I'm going to just make a new hair gen node just so we can start from scratch. And so if I connect that in, it's going to create a whole bunch of hairs based on these guides. And by default, the influence radius is way too high. So I'm going to turn that down. And we need a much higher density. So I'm just going to go all the way up and then go a little bit more. And then it's looking a little bit too thick, so we can also adjust that. And the influence radius is still way too high. So let's go ahead and adjust this until we get something that looks better. All right, I think that's looking good. But again, we still want the limit where the hair is actually growing. So that's what we need the mask for. And I think that's pretty decent. So if we scroll up, we're going to find an option to control where the hair grows with density. Oh, I'm sorry, not by density, but by density attribute that you can create. So here's the density right here, and we have our overrides, and you can see that we can actually use a skin attribute. And like I pointed out at the beginning of this video, the downside to the skin attribute is that it's going to be limited by the topology of your model. And you can see that this model doesn't have high enough topology for the precise mask that we would need for this eyebrow. But fortunately, there's another option that we can use, and that would be the texture option. And because of the new Copernicus that Houdini has, we can actually just take that mask that we saved and directly load that in right here in the texture. And fortunately, it's not too difficult to set that up. So let's go back into our browse, and we have our texture mask paint, and I've already painted that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop down a null, which I've already done, and just plug that into the second output of the texture mask paint node, and just give it a name where the first letters are capitalized, and that way it'll be easier to find in a second. And you're going to create a cop net. And once you're done with that, you're going to dive inside. And I'm going to recreate these nodes, even though I've already done it, just to make it easier for you to follow along. So the first node that you're going to need is a SOP import, and you're going to want two of them. So if you hit Alt and click on the node, you can drag it. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Click right there on the node, then you'll get two copies. And so one of the geometries that we're going to be importing is the head, and then the other one is going to be that actual volume that we painted. And what I mean by volume is that this texture mask paint is volume based, and so it's actually exporting out a volume. So I'm going to hit Control C on this null that we created, go back inside here, and then I'm going to go to this SOP import. And for now, I'm just going to hide other objects so that we don't see anything outside. Hit Use External SOP, and we're going to hit Control V to paste in that output of that mask, or the output of the texture mask paint. And we can see that we have that right here. And then we're just going to preview it on our actual head. So if we do preview material, it's going to be looking for geometry. So let's go back out one level, and we're going to take our skin, do the same thing we did before, Control C, go back in here, and then use external SOP, and we're going to paste that in. And if we put the display flag, we can see that we have our actual geometry. And I hit space H in order to center the geometry. So now we can put our display flag on the preview material, and we can plug our geometry on, or our geometry in. And so now we can preview that material on the geometry. And before we proceed, we need to drop down a rasterized setup node, and we're going to plug that in. And let me hit space H just so I can find what we're working on. And so I'm going to put the display flag on this new node. And for the space, we want to be working in UV space, so we can switch that to UV. And we can see that puts that into the -1 to 1 range, which is what Copernicus works in. And so now we're going to use Geo to layer, and then plug that in. And now we can plug this into the base color. And if we plug that in right here into the base color, we can see that we get actually the same thing that we had when we were looking at our texture mask paint node. We have our mask paint, we have our texture applied to the geometry. And so the cool thing about Copernicus is that you can actually use this texture directly inside our hair generate node without actually having to save it out to disk. So what I'll do is I'll create a null, and then I'll just name it out. And then I'll go here and I'll hit Control C. I'm just not doing it here because I've already done it up there, so it doesn't make sense to do it again. And so hit Control C to copy it, and then go back out to object level. And if we go to our hair gen node, right now there's no hair being generated, and that's because we've told it to control the density by a texture, but we haven't provided it a texture. So let's hit Control V, and it's not going to be working at first, and that's because we need to put something before our path. We just need to put OP and then colon, and that's telling it that we're loading from a node instead of a file. And so as soon as I hit that, we'll see that our texture is now being applied properly, and our hair is being constrained to that area. So now if I go to this influence radius, I can raise it as high as I want and it won't start creating guides outside of that mask, which is great. Now, there is something I want to point out because, as you know, probably from watching this, the viewport can be a little bit buggy, and loading a texture from a cop node can also be a bit buggy. For example, if you go back here and then decide to make a change to your mask, and so I'm going to just come out here and paint something right here and go back out, you can see that it didn't actually properly apply. And I think we can fix that. Let me just try something. I think if I just go here, then I just like delete that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then hit undo. Well, let me just paste that full address back in. There we go. And let's see what's going on. For some reason that didn't work. Oh, I'm getting some dumb error again. So I'm just going to undo that change that I made. Like I said, this is really finicky. Yeah, for some reason it's saying there's nothing there. So I just kept hitting undo to get back to that part. So I don't know why it's showing an error. This is all really buggy, but let me try painting again, and then I'll hit enter. Let me hit escape. Let me see, is it actually, yeah, this is quite frustrating. I'm not sure why it's erroring out. Again, maybe I can try resetting the viewport. Oh, I think that fixed it. And so let's hit enter. Yeah, I guess resetting the viewport is the key to everything. And then now if we go back, it is updating. But on the like in the case that it's not updating, you can just like delete like one of the letters so that it's not loading, and then put it back, and then it'll work properly. One more thing that I wanted to point out is that even if you have your guides in the right spot, you still may need a texture to control where the hair is growing. And even if you turn the influence radius down, that won't always solve the problem. So take a look at this, for example. I have all my guides in the right spot. So let me hide the guides really quickly. You can see that I'm getting all this patchy, like these patches of hair. And the reason why I'm getting patches of hair is because the hair is only able to be influenced by guides that are right next to it. And that's not what we want. We want a better interpolation between the guides. And so the solution to that is making this bigger. And so we can see that we're getting rid of those patches, but then the issue is that it's growing the hair out too much. It's generating too much hair. And so if once we turn on that texture, that's fixing the issue, and we can see that go into effect here. So if let me hide the guides again. So if I start going down, you can see that it's all patchy, but as soon as I start bringing this up, it starts smoothing it out. And so that's why you would want a texture to control where your mask, or a texture to control where your hair is growing, even if your guides are properly placed. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you found this useful. I'll catch you in the next video.